Hey everybody, it looks like the on-point GIS zoning map and benchmark data for homework for the Osceola County doesn't work anymore, and it comes up to this website. So at first you'll get to the interactive maps. When you click on this, then it's going to come up to this website. This website has been updated, it appears. So to get the information that you're looking for in the homework is to go to planning and zoning. So click on planning and zoning, and I asked you to get the information of the zoning map and the benchmark data. So when this pops up, this is kind of more of an easier using map than what it was before, or it appears to be. So our project is located down here. So I'm just going to zoom in. So there's Tucker Avenue. All right. And Tucker Avenue and Deer Run. So our project is right here. So the nice thing about this is we can click over here on the zoning apps and we can see now that it's zoned LDR. So you can make a quick print of this. So I'm going to kind of move it to the center and go print. And it should print out the center of this. I'm doing this on the fly. So I'm going to go ahead and layout map only. That's fine. A3s, I think those are different size pieces of paper. So I'm gonna do the ANSI A letter portrait, and I'm gonna print. So it's creating this. Like I said, this one's way simpler than the other one is to use. So, or at least so far so good. All right, it took a few minutes to print that map, so it should look like this. So now you can download your map. So I'm going to download that, and I'm just going to save it on my downloads. All right, so I'm going to close that. And the next thing that you can do, I'm going to go ahead and collapse that and cancel it, is take a look at your other options. So click on that little folders button to see what layers are available. You also have information on the PDs, the city limits, the center lines, that sort of information. Now, this is just for planning and zoning maps. I'm going to go back to the Osceola. You can also get, it appears that I'm not seeing the, right off the top of my head, I'm not seeing the benchmarks. The benchmarks are probably located in a different location. I'm going to look at the FEMA map just because it's interesting, but you can get the information that you're interested in the FEMA maps also doing the same thing. Just holding my shift button down. There's hickory tree. Here's Nolte, pine tree, Deer Run. This is our project area. You can see the FEMAs, the soil, all good information. Okay. You can also create a map here as it loads. All right. So this is another map that I like. I am going to turn off the historic. I am going to leave the soils on. I'm going to collapse this because the soils would be important in your construction. I am going to turn on the parcels, and I am going to turn on the wetlands, because we have wetlands on our site. You can see it right here. Okay, and center lines. That's just the center line of the roadways. All right. The other nice thing you can do is you can actually change the transparency of it so you can see the information behind it a little bit easier. So I'd actually create two maps, one for the wetlands, one for the soils, that sort of thing. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to turn off the wetlands. All right, So you can see in this map all of my floodplains here. So I'm going to put that arrow down and I'm going to print this map. And I'm going to do landscape and print. It's creating my map, and then I'll download that map. Okay, so it made a map that looks like this. So I'll download that one. Now there's a lot of different pieces of information you can get from this. You can get the soils information also. So I am going to close out of that. Click on that and get my layers. Go ahead and create a map for your soils and for your wetlands. All right, I'm not going to do that here, but if you need me to show you in another video, then that's fine. But basically, you're just clicking on those layers. So the last thing is the data that's available. So I'm going to close out of these. I got a lot of things open. So if I go back to my interactive maps and I click on that link, I do want to show you one other thing. They've made it a lot easier, so I apologize for the difference in the videos. So go to the data download, and the data download is going to pop up this. Now here's the thing, is you just can't, in the homework assignments or even in life, try to take a look at the data that's available to you on your websites. So you can look at environmental information, center lines, boundaries, facilities. Let's just take a look at boundaries and see what information they have in the boundaries. So you can download this information and bring it into your drawing, which is super helpful when you're trying to create a map or an exhibit. So you can download the data, and they're usually, when you download them, they're in shape files. Utility providers, precincts. Let's see what else they have. And date, whoops, that's not where I wanted to go to. So I'm just going to hit the arrow back. Centerline and addresses, you can also get this data downloaded for your center lines of the roads, parks, emergency services. I'm not sure what facilities are, hospitals. Okay, so what I am going to do is I'm going to type in benchmarks and see if I can find it that way. And it's not. I'm going to go to the home button, and I do not see it. We may have to hold off on the benchmarks if I can't find it. So back to the Osceola interactive maps, or even let's just Google it. So google.com Osceola County benchmark access. So we can do it, search online records. That's not what I want. Benchmarks Osceola. I think that's just an application. This is the forms. Oh, here we go. Here's just a list of all of the NAVD benchmarks. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and download this. This tells you where all the benchmarks are in Osceola County. The other way to get benchmark information, this is a true surveyor way and not just the county. You can go to the benchmark website, as in the it's underneath the geodesy.noaa.gov data sheets. So this is where you would truly get the benchmarks for survey. It appears that you may have to request the benchmark data, but this actually tells you. It just doesn't give you a map of where the benchmarks are. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here. So this video will replace the second video in the design information homework assignment. If you've got any questions, just let me know.